I can remember a conversation with a search firm a few years ago, and I declined a chance to pursue a job, and the gentleman asked me why, and I said, it's not like it's Georgia. And because I really feel strongly about what this program is capable of accomplishing.
The University of Georgia today announcing the hire of Mark Fox, the former head coach at the University of Nevada. And let's take a look at what Coach Fox had to say about recruiting in the state of Georgia, which is a topic that a lot of people have asked about.
It goes without saying that there's plenty of talent in terms of basketball talent, specifically in Atlanta and around Georgia. It doesn't seem like they've come to Georgia, or at least stayed at Georgia in the past. How do you get the pipeline going, specifically with kids in Georgia?
Well, I think that first and foremost, young people should understand that their dreams can come true at this institution. Every young kid wants to play in the NBA. Every young kid should realize they're going to have to work and live 3 or 4 decades after that basketball career is over with. And they can reach both those goals by attending this school. And it starts by educating kids. We've had 5 players from Nevada play in the NBA. Not one of them was offered a scholarship by a Big Six conference. And so I think that developing the players that you get and just educating young people on how we can help them grow as people, as men, and developing talent, certainly recruiting as high a talent as we can. And then I think when you establish a reputation, then hopefully the people in the state, the young people in the state, will develop a faith and a following and realize that Georgia basketball is relevant and that we can accomplish everything that they want to.
I've heard this over and over in the individuals that I've met with and coaches that I've talked to. They have told me there is no doubt that the state of Georgia is a fertile recruiting ground, and we got to put a fence up around it like Mark Richt has done in football.
You know, obviously we're aware of the Celtics and the Georgia Stars and all those. You know, we've had at Nevada to recruit across the board. We've had, you know, I've had Ramon Sessions from South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. I had Jermaine Washington from Columbia, South Carolina. Malik Cook started for us this year from Charlotte. We've had kids from Chicago. We've had to go everywhere to get players, and certainly now with the structure of summer basketball, all those kids are meeting, you know, whether it be in Orlando or Las Vegas, and you get a chance to see them all, and certainly this is a talent-rich area.
I spoke with both of your guys that you signed last night. They said they hadn't heard from you yet, but they were expecting to. When will you get in touch with them?
I've talked to every kid.
Okay, including the guys that have signed. Y'all signed.
Yes, I talked to every kid. I didn't land in Reno last night until 8:30, 9 o'clock, which was midnight here.
Yeah, that was before. Okay.
Yeah, I've talked to every kid on our roster.
Was the basketball talent pool in this area one reason why this is so appealing?
Without question, the talent in this region, the league, the institution. I mean, there's a lot of things in the package that correlate to success, and we just have to manage and use those things the right way.
The Bulldogs coming off a difficult season, dismissing Dennis Felton in late January. Damon Evans thinks that Mark Fox is the guy to lead this team to national prominence.
A very good question, because I think you have to have a CEO these days when you're dealing with a program of this magnitude. First and foremost, I thought he brought a great deal of leadership to the position. Things that I heard about him, the research that I had done on him, people that I talked to, and then just sitting down talking to him about his overall philosophy. Anytime you bring a candidate to the table, you feel like they're a good basketball coach, or you wouldn't have him there. So now it's about some of the other things, how he comports himself, his relationship with student athletes, some of his values, and his understanding of not just basketball but the world of intercollegiate athletics as a whole. As you know, he probably has a really good understanding because of his wife, who actually is an associate AD out at Nevada. So I just felt like he was a complete package and knows that it takes more than just X's and O's to build a national power. Well, he had already told me, if I asked him in the interview, I said, if offered the job, are you going to accept it? And he said yes. So when I offered it to him, I told him he couldn't tell me no.
And then finally, let's take a look at what Coach Fox said his expectations are for the University of Georgia's basketball team.
You know, we are very excited about the future in front of us. we do need to make an accurate evaluation of what we have. And I can look at a stat sheet right now and just see certain things, but we have to certainly get kids and watch some tape and see what they're really capable of and see how we want to structure our team. We may not be able to play exactly like we want to play until we get the roster like we want it to look. And but I think that we'll start that process soon after we walk out of here, and I will hope that timetable is one that moves quickly, but certainly I think we do have some issues we're going to have to address.
Well, a lot of people ask me what my opinion is on this, and I got to say, this search looked strange. There's no question about that. But I think the athletic department and Damon Evans need to get credit for keeping things quiet. There were a lot of us that were on the trail of things, but Mark Fox was definitely out of the box. With that said, I think he's a very good hire. I think he is a hire that makes sense. I think that's the most important thing. That's what keeps coming up to me over and over again, is that it makes sense for him to be at Georgia. I think he's going to be able to recruit pretty well. I do. Now, I think it's going to be a tough year next year. I don't think the talent is there right now, but I think what he will do is establish that he's going to be at Georgia for a while, and I think that will help with recruiting. We don't know the terms of the deal, and someone asked me today, well, what do you know about him? Well, I don't know much. And they said, well, what do you think about the hire? I said, well, I think it's smart, but I'll feel like I'll know more after the press conference. And I think he was very polished. I think he knows how to tell a joke, which is very important. And I think he's very disarming. And I think he understands that recruiting in Georgia, and I know I'm talking about recruiting a lot, but let's be honest, there's a lot of talent in Georgia. There is a lot of talent in Georgia. 40 players in the NCAAs this year that come from Georgia, none of them playing for the University of Georgia. That's a problem. So I think when you establish that and he understands that, his understanding of that will help him grow into this position. Well, with that said, Mark Fox, the new head coach at the University of Georgia, and this is Dean Legge for Dog Post, signing off.